Hey everybody, welcome to this Xbox Life episode 509. And the name of the show is Holiday Time 2018. It's that time of the year again, where we are rounding out the year. Not a lot of stuff going on, just people opening presents, a lot of holiday events and everything. And we have podcasts as well. This is This Xbox Life. My name is Rob, your host for the show today, and I'm soloing it once again. Things were kind of crazy here, trying to schedule people up for the show here, but the show must go on, right? So looking to do the end of the year gaming show next week. So it's going to be just before the new year. And that's a good time for it, I guess. There, let's see. I lost my show notes. Where are they? Here they are. So anyway, welcome to the show once again. I'm glad you're here. Just want to make a couple quick announcements. First of all, you can listen to the show on Twitch, Mixer, and occasionally on YouTube. Apparently, it doesn't like us streaming to it for some reason. And the recordings are done approximately 10 p.m. Eastern, sometimes a little bit later, and that'll probably change in the near future. But as for right now, look for the show on Sundays if you're going to be watching live. Also, the show's not affiliated in any way with Microsoft or Xbox. It's a show being done by fans for fans of the Xbox. And views and opinions expressed in the show do not reflect those of Microsoft. All right, let's get rolling here. So what have I been playing? Well, I meant to say that the show's name is This Fortnite Life. But yet again, I've been doing a lot of Fortnite playing. Save the World, of course. A little bit of Battle Royale. Not that much, but mostly Save the World. And just about made it into Canny Valley. So just been helping a friend out a lot as he progresses up into Plankerton now. So I've been doing a lot of helper missions, I guess, and haven't been progressing myself as much as I should. But probably going to get into Canny Valley here in a couple days, or tomorrow, probably, or Tuesday, Christmas, all that good stuff. And it's Frost Night season in Fortnite. It's a crazy battle in Save the World. And then they also got a lot of like Christmassy stuff over in Battle Royale land. Over there, if you're not familiar with it, just ask your kids. They'll tell you all about it. And if you have kids playing it, you know what I mean. Anyway, but besides that, we kind of had a surprise release of Below. It kind of came out of nowhere. We knew it was coming sometime in the future when they first announced it back in 2013 on the reveal, I think, for the Xbox. That was like in May of 2013, 6 months prior to the release of the Xbox One. So they touted Below, this roguelike game with these teeny tiny itty bitty little graphics. Just roguelike, randomly generated, procedurally generated. I'm not sure, but randomly generated, because I'm sure procedural is random, but random is not procedural, probably. It's one of those one way but not the other things. But anyway, so every game's supposedly different, and it finally came out. It was just like, hey, it's coming out like in a week or two, and boom, it was out. And so I got it installed, and man, I think I need to give it some more time, but this was really disappointing. I was really looking forward to it. The graphics looked pretty cool, but I don't know. The game, for me at least, it just did not deliver. And, I think that it doesn't help it much, being that there really isn't much of a tutorial or anything. Maybe I should just watch some YouTube videos or something, because that really helped me with the Kingdom New Lands games. But yeah, it was kind of funky. I don't know. I need to give it more time. Let me rephrase it. I'd rather give it some more time so I don't just blast it, which is kind of what I want to do right now. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So that was below, and then not a whole lot, just way too much time in Fortnite, I guess. So that's about it. That's all I've been playing. And then a couple quick announcements. If you'd like to support the show on Patreon, you can get there by going to thisxboxlife.com/Patreon. And you can also leave us a tip at thisxboxlife.com/donate. And yet again, we are on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to us there and like our videos and all that good stuff. So on to the topics for the show. So it's going to be kind of a quick show. Not a whole lot going on right now other than the holidays for everybody. But a couple things I just wanted to talk about. And that was that, some of the buzz has been going on right now about the different Xboxes that are potentially coming out. There's some rumors going on. Some reports have been going back and forth. And Michael Pachter, which we've talked about on the we've talked about him a lot on the show over the past 10 years. And he is, an industry analyst that I guess he's probably one of the better ones that we like, that doesn't crucify gaming and all that. But he talked about what Microsoft is probably, and he's not an insider, he's an analyst, but he talked about what Microsoft has going on, and also about the rumors and the reports that have been released. So Michael Pachter said, "I expect a dumbed down console like the Steam console, where it's download only and there's no hard drive or disk drive." And goes, so I think there will be a streaming device like $100 Xbox console that doesn't run in 4K or 240 frames a second. And I think there will be a more expensive $400 console that supports 4K, 240 frames per second, virtual reality. And I don't know if there's going to be more models. I don't think you're going to get completely different devices. So that's kind of interesting. And this is sort of in line with what we've been hearing over the past, 6 months, year, as there's been speculation. Because I think we first heard this about a year ago. And supposedly those programs got canceled. Well, it looks like they might have been just delayed or hush-hushed and not actually canceled. And then he further went on to talk about Sony. And basically, this was kind of interesting as well. It was whether Sony does it, I think they will probably have that 4K and 240 frame per second device that'll support the PlayStation VR. Whether they have a PlayStation Now device that's streaming only, I don't know. Maybe there'll be 2 each for PlayStation and Xbox, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were more than 2, and I'm not sure whether Sony is committed to doing that. So, take it for what you will. He's an analyst, he's analyzing and he's speculating, and, he, I guess, is sort of in line with what we've been hearing. So there's new stuff coming out, and I've actually read some information that said, I don't know how good it is, but possibly as early as January, and January is right around the corner. It's just less than a week away. So we'll have to see what is going on with that. Also, some more on the hardware front. Microsoft is supposedly developing new 4K webcams. Their webcams have usually been pretty good. I've used the studio cam for the recording of the show for quite some time. Now I'm back on a Logitech here, but the studio one was pretty nice. It was, priced right, I guess, and the quality was decent. I don't know if it's as good as the Logitech, but it was decent. And so now they're working on some new 4K ones because, 4K is the thing nowadays. And the rumor is that, they're, of course, going to support Windows 10, which is to be expected, but at least one of them will support the Xbox One. Now, in the Xbox front, we've had cameras in the past with the Kinect and with the Vision cam, which kind of was terrible, I thought. But the Kinect one was okay, more or less. Even, I don't know if we really anticipated it to be a great camera, but, it had that camera, I think, to do part of what Kinect did, which was to see what was going on in the room and such. But, what they're saying that they're going to possibly do with this is to enable you to sign in with your Xbox with facial recognition. I think that this is like Microsoft Hello, which is built into Windows. So it's something along those lines. But, I don't think we're going to be looking into anything like how the Kinect is, because the Kinect had all sorts of other stuff. It had room mapping and depth of field perception and so forth. So this is just going to be video camera. Who knows what they can possibly infer from that, but it'll just be primarily webcam and sign in kind of thing. So, we'll see what happens with that. But, more hardware coming to the Xbox in the near future. And then, like I said earlier, there's not a whole lot going on right now in at least this last week of the year. I'm sure many companies have pretty much wound down a little bit for the holidays. People are on vacation and such. But on the Microsoft side, one thing that hasn't wound down apparently is their sale. It's that time of the year, end of year sale. We have our holiday sales. Did we have a back to school one? I don't know, but there's a summer sale. There's a sale like right around the holidays, New Year. There's one Black Friday sale a couple weeks back. And Microsoft's year-end countdown sale, that's the name of it now, is going on right now. So if you haven't picked up some of these games over the past couple weeks, you can probably snag them pretty cheap right now. I think a lot of the same old games are out there. And some of the new games that have been out, not too long, just a couple weeks, couple months, they're on sale too. Assassin's Creed Odyssey's $30, Battlefield 5, $30, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is $39, which I think is not crazy new because it's been as low as $37 over the past couple weeks. But all these are fairly new releases and they're in the 30s, which is pretty amazing. Forza Horizon 4, $39. Just Cause 4, $48. Red Dead Redemption Special Edition 76. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is $30. I thought I saw that for like $5 on the PC. That game really tanked fast. So, you might want to check it out. There's a fairly good list of games out there. So if you haven't picked up some of these games on the releases, you're looking to do some gaming, you might want to check that sale out. And enough of that. But there was an interesting article on Engadget a couple days ago, because what they said is Xbox is poised to dominate the next console generation. So that's kind of cool to see, based on the fact that, over the past couple of years, Xbox has been slammed over and over and over for just about everything. But, here they're basically saying that Microsoft has been doing stuff right lately. And I pretty much agree. I'm very pleased with the stuff that they've done, not necessarily just to further the, gaming on the Xbox, but it's stuff that we take advantage of as gamers, as owners of Xbox. And that's, they talk about a bunch of different things where they talk about the Xbox One X and its release, how it's such a powerful console. Then we also have, the changes that Microsoft has made in 2018, in particular, adaptive controller releases, new consoles coming out within the next couple of months, next year or so. And, it's nice to see that Microsoft is being given kudos. It's the environment that we enjoy, everything from Game Pass to the game sharing. And if you have an Xbox One X, the actual 4K gaming and stuff. So it's an interesting read. You might want to check it out. It's from Engadget. And again, it's called Xbox is Poised to Dominate the Next Console Generation. Then there was another interesting article, and this is something that I've kind of wondered about in the past, and that's it's from Windows Central, where they talked about what's better for your Xbox One from hard drive, for a hard drive storage standpoint, an SSD or just a standard spinning hard drive. Because, I've thought about it in the past, because you tend to think SSD, faster, instant access sort of to data. And then your spinning disk, the drives go to sleep, they have to spin up, they have to seek. There's a little bit of a delay. And, not that it's crazy slow, but, there is a difference. And, so you get speed with the SSD, but you get less space, and they're more expensive. So, pros and cons, what are we looking at? And it was just kind of an interesting look into, the differences between the two, which is, I kind of talked about a bunch of them right now. They talk about capacities where, regular hard drives can hit huge capacities, 4, 8 terabyte and larger. So ultimately, which one should you buy? And they basically say the hard drive is a value. And the spinning hard drive, the standard hard drive is the value. It gives you the storage. But if you're a demanding person, then the SSD is the way to go at a premium cost, of course. Not that it's a huge difference, but it's significant. So it was just an interesting take on that debate on what should you get. And then another debate that you might be having in the near future is, what are you going to get? Are you going to get yourself a new controller, or are you going to get yourself a new keyboard and mouse for your Xbox One? So Microsoft added to the Insider program a while ago the ability to run keyboard and mouse. And then there's a couple of games that already switched over to support the keyboard and mouse. Mind you, they didn't change anything to get rid of controller support, but they added the ability to do keyboard and mouse, and Razer's coming out with their special combo called the Razer Turret. So it's a combination keyboard and mouse, and it's got this like little mouse pad side thing that slides out from the keyboard that you can use. So I guess you can use it on your lap if you're doing it on on a sofa. I guess you could use a keyboard or TV tray or one of those little laptop stands as well. But, that is pretty steep. It's $250, which I guess for all purposes, is that so bad? Because you can easily pay $150 to $200 for a mechanical keyboard, especially ones with fancy lights. And, if it's a gaming style keyboard, and the mice, because the wireless mouse, the wireless ones can be $100, $150 for the gaming ones. The wired ones, of course, are a lot less. But yeah, it's finally going to be available here, because looks like they added support for Fortnite, Warframe, and Bomber Crew back in November, with more coming. And then also some of the lighting effects are going to be available for X-Morph Defense and Vermintide 2, in addition to other games. And then the Razer Turret, it has a single dongle that connects both keyboard and mouse, which is kind of cool. So you don't have to have two, because the USB ports on the Xbox aren't exactly plentiful, especially if you use a hard drive. But the dongle ties everything together with a 2.4 gig connection. And what's really interesting is that the combo can last up to 40 hours on a single charge. So that's pretty impressive. But what's not impressive, again, is $250, which is a lot more than the controller cost. But then again, I think, they're saying that you can pretty much add any keyboard mouse. So you can probably do your own for cheaper, but, it's not built for specifically, might not have all the features. And The Razer Turret supposedly is available now for pre-order on the Microsoft Store, and you get a $25 Xbox gift card with that. So that's kind of cool. So it's a little bit of a discount, I guess, $25 off for pre-ordering at list price. So if that's your thing, you might want to get yourself a Christmas present there. And then there was another interesting article on Windows Central, which discussed the new xCloud. This is, or Project xCloud. Basically, the approach that that Microsoft looks like it's going to take with this. And, you know, we've had some streaming services in the past that, you know, have not done very well, have not caught on. You know, new players are jumping into the field with, you know, Google and their streaming service. Oh, by the way, if you sign up for the Google streaming service, you can actually get Assassin's Creed Odyssey for free. I think that that's still available. I believe there's also a waiting list for it going on right now, but that's pretty cool. Well, it's cool if you have a PC that can play it as well, but free is free. So, you know, we've had OnLive, the new services here, the Sony service that they've got over on the PlayStation side. And what's really amazing about the xCloud thing is that they're looking to overcome one of the hugest hurdles for any kind of streaming service. And that's that there is some lag between the time that the information, the screen, comes over from the service to the player, and then they react and then send that information back. So when you move left or right, or you press, a fire button, key, whatever it is, there's that little bit of a lag, and it's really noticeable in some instances. And then, if you're playing something like XCOM or, I don't know, Uno or something, it doesn't really matter. But if you're playing, a first-person shooter, if you're playing Black Ops, Fortnite, Battlefield, any Call of Duty, any of those games, or heck, even some racing games, that delay, 50 millisecond or whatever, can make or break you. And, you're basically at the mercy of that lag. You can maybe react in time, but that signal's just not getting over to the servers in time to react. So what's really interesting is that Microsoft is using a system that they've supposedly demoed back as, I don't know, around 2015, as early as 2015, if not earlier. And it was something that Microsoft Research called Out of Time Project, where this system used some kind of predictive analysis, or they call it speculation, to enable low latency interaction from servers to the player, basically, or the player's hardware, the home hardware. And this was really interesting, how this kind of worked. And they had a demo. You can look it up on YouTube. It's Out of Time, OUTATIME. And basically the gist of this is that as you're playing a game, the system basically predicts what you're probably going to do. And from that point on, it reacts on that. And if you do something different, then it basically warps that into reality, I guess. That's the best way I can describe it. But what that really means is that as you react, if you react in a different way, then it takes what it sent over and makes it look like how he reacted. So in my mind, and this is just my interpretation of this, and I could totally be wrong, it's almost like the servers send over, it's like, okay, he's probably going to do this. And if you do, great, then it matches. And if it doesn't, then it somehow visually changes things. It probably sends over like elements of the game, and then it like plugs in what really happens, almost like a jigsaw puzzle. Or I was also wondering if they could do something along the lines of, hey, send this, okay, this person's in this hallway right here. He could either go right or left. Let me send both frames. And then when he reacts right, you just play the right one and discard the left. You know, something along those lines. I wonder how, if that would even be possible. But apparently they've worked this all out. And, you know, it's not something that they just kind of came up with recently. They've been working on this for quite some time, since they had some, you know, working systems of this back, you know, more than 3 years ago. So, yeah, you might want to look into that if you find that kind of stuff interesting. You know, definitely game developer-y, you know, engineering kind of talks. And it looks like it's going to be pretty interesting, and it looks like it might be coming to us soon, if that streaming box is actually going to be out in, I don't know, the next 6 months or a year. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. And then also talked, what was it, about a week or two ago, that Life is Strange is on Game Pass. Well, it's on Game Pass. So if you want to have your Telltale-like experience in a good game, then you can give that thing a shot. And then I think we talked about this, I don't know, about 6 months ago or so. Happy Wars is leaving Windows 10 and Xbox 360. So if you actually played it, then you got to play on Xbox One, because it will persist. And this was the one, I think, that it launched, let's see, launched in 2016, and then they kind of killed it like a week or two later or something like that. Wasn't that the one? But anyway, yeah, the Xbox and 360 are going to be, I'm sorry, the 360 and PC Windows 10 are going to be gone, but it'll persist for Xbox One. And another departure for the Xbox 360 and other old generation consoles, including PS3, Wii U, Vita, is Minecraft. Minecraft is no longer going to be patched on those systems, so what you got is what you got. And, oh, I forgot to mention I played some Minecraft with my son as well. It's like going back to an old friend. Yeah, Minecraft. But, yeah, so if you want to play Minecraft, you got to go current gen. Or rather, I'm sure you can still play it, but if you want bug fixes and new stuff, you have to go current generation. And I believe that is about it for the topics for this week. Now on to the retail releases.
Okay, Rob, what you got for us today? What you got for us to play? Give us a list of games that we can buy and play. Okay, Rob.
All right, retail releases for this week. I couldn't find any, so there's none. Well, there might be some, but quiet week, like I said. Holidays, not a whole lot of stuff going on, except people enjoying their families, celebrating, doing whatever they do. But we do have news on Games with Gold. So Xbox One Games with Gold, we have continuing through the end of December, so just a couple more days, about a week or what. We have Cube 2, and then brand new is in January, is on January 1st, Celeste. Look for that one. And then the carryover from December into January is Never Alone. Xbox 360 and back compat. we have Mercenaries Playground of Destruction going through the end of the year. And then what's new, or what's old is new again, I guess. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light is available on starting January 1st through the 15th. This is like the 28th time that this game has been in back compat games with gold. No, I'm kidding about that. Maybe once or twice. And then also a couple quick announcements. If you'd like to leave us a voicemail, you can do that at thisxboxlife.com. Click on the little voicemail widget at the right-hand side. Leave us a voicemail up to 90 seconds in length. If you need to do longer, you can leave us multiple. Or alternatively, send an MP3 to contact@thisxboxlife. You can also send emails to that as well. And I'll talk about them on the show and play the MP3s or whatever. And then we also have a Twitter account at This Xbox Life. You can find that at thisxboxlife.com/Twitter, if people even use Twitter anymore. I think they just yell at each other and fight. But we also have a Facebook group. You can find that at thisxboxlife.com/Facebook. It's a closed group, which means that you have to ask for permission to join the group. Answer 2 simple questions. Upon asking for permission in there, you'll be let in. It's just really to keep the spammers out and, all the nefarious characters that are out there on the internet. But also another thing about it being closed group is that posts that you put on there will only be seen by people within the group. So it keeps things private. And then I believe that is all for this show here. So lastly, as usual, if you make any purchase on Amazon, if you're doing some last minute holiday shopping or post-holiday shopping, make sure to use our affiliate link from Amazon. You can find that on the Facebook group or on our website. Just use that each and every time you make your purchase on Amazon. It helps defray some of the costs of running the show. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but please use that each and every time. Then also, if you're an iTunes user, please find our show on the iTunes store. Give us a 5-star rating. The more of those that we get, the more we get boosted in the rankings and helps more people find out about the show. And we're on Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. And thanks to Learned Your Lesson for the Music. And that is all for episode number 509. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you all next time.